Good evening. You join me at the mighty Llandudno wall. There's one reason why I'm fishing here. We're in the middle of a storm, but behind me over there you have the biggest rock ever and the wind's coming that way. So even though I'm getting a bit of a breeze, I'm pretty much blocked off from the wind. It's definitely fishable. Funny enough, you can see the damage to the pier down there. See the hut on its side? That was from the storm we had around a couple of weeks ago. It is bloody cold though, so I'm going to get some layers on soon. But this is a place which I've fished a lot when I first started sea fishing. It is a special place. I caught my first ever codling from here, from right here down there on a single black lug. And yeah, it's about 2 hours before high tide now, and it's about to go dark within the next half hour. So I'm going to fish, well, I'm going to set up. It's probably just going to be going dark when I put the rods in. I'm going to fish for a couple hours into dark and see how we go. Now, this does throw absolutely anything up, from rays. People have had taupe off here, massive congers, big bull huss, as many bass as you can shake a stick at, codling, peckers in the millions. But we'll just give it a go here just to get a few bites. I've got some bait from Bluefin in Triada Bay. I've got some squid and some mussel. I'm looking forward to giving it a go. We're going to put a cod bait out, a big stinking cod bait. Then we're going to put like a 2-up flapper with big ragworm on and see what we can pick up. But this is like awesome. There is a bit of a breeze coming. It's coming more at this angle instead of that angle. The weather report did say it was coming here. Maybe it's going to change, but it's definitely fishable. And the wind is starting to die down as well. But look at this. As it stands, I've got the wall to myself. Might not have it to myself for long, but as it stands, I have. Yeah, literally just right out the wind, absolutely perfect. As I say, you've got a slight little tunnel coming round, but I'm pretty much outfit. But have a look at this for a spot. I'll spin you around now. There was a time as well, about 3 years ago, I was bringing a whiting up there, and I was about to lift it out of the water, and a massive cod has hit it. Mike, That's a Bite, was with me, and I'll never forget it. It looked like a double-figure cod. And just as I lifted the white into the surface, it grabbed on, and I even lifted the fish out of the water a little bit. Yeah, so they do come here, but I'm not expecting one. It is a bit blowy. It's a lot a bit blowy, and it's a bit snaggy. But can you see the up there? Look, that's from the storm last time. It's absolutely smashed the pier to bits. I did hear the pier was back open, but it doesn't look like it. Oh yeah, look, there's a fence there. That bit, it's open halfway. Half of it is, half of it isn't. But yeah, there's another fisherman here, I think, just turning up. It's a van and I can see fishing rods in it, so I've got to get my spot sorted here quick. But yeah, I'm going to give it a go. Hopefully we get a few fish. It's a lovely, comfortable mark, and there should be a few fish. So I'll get set up and I'll show you the plan. Welcome to Llandudno wall. I have just done a full 3 or 4 minutes talking and didn't turn the bloody microphone on. Well, what I was saying anyway, the left rod has got the scratching rig on. Well, it's not scratching, it's a 2-hook flapper with quite big hooks. It's not really a scratching rig, to be fair. It will do cod and bass and whatever. It's not a tiny one, but that's just out about 20 yards there. The right rod, the squid rod, and the mussel and the rag, which I'm targeting the cod with, is more towards the pier, because you've got a deep bit by the pier there. I do know this mark really well. I was going to go to the Conway estuary around the corner. There's been a lot of fresh coming in, and just didn't fancy it. Plus, this is just complete. Everywhere in the country is getting 60-70 mile an hour winds now. There's nothing here, so it was a good choice. I'm surprised everybody's not here. But as I said, there's a live band on there, and it's complete chaos here. I was just thinking, a few years ago, it was 3-4 years ago, I come here to fish on my birthday with the lads, and I cast a full mackerel, and it got snagged on the pier. Sorry, pal. You right? You alright? Yeah, sorry. There's not normally these cars here you can normally get past. Oh, I'll move the rods if I have to, if anybody comes past that needs to. Anyway, yeah, the security guard was walking up and down there, and I tried to put a full mackerel next to the pier in the deep spot, and the line went over the pier. So the security guard, being a good security guard, was trying to pull it up for me and throw it back in, like everything was going well. And it was my birthday, and I had a few beers, and the lads was driving, by the way, not me. And oh, bite on the right one, that's the cod bite. Anyway, I pulled it to try and pull it, and I've hooked him in the shoulder, just in his jacket, and he's got a big dead mackerel down there, and I'm here like that, and the lads are all absolutely hysterical. Like, we just couldn't write it, and he's going, ah, and because I'd had a few and I was laughing, I was like, oh my God, I've got the security guard. It was just one of the most funniest things ever. Anyway, he got it out and dropped it back in. Everything was good. There was no issues or no, you know, nothing wrong. It was funny, but yeah. Just imagine all the lads here on my birthday. Shenanigans going on, and me like this with a security guard over there pulling him. He's got this big mackerel down his arm. Oh, I'll never forget that. Never. Anyway, we just had the first bite on the cod rod. Just a little ping. Could have been a little anything. It definitely wasn't a cod or it would have smashed it. Yeah, you got to fish heavy when you're fishing here. It's not only is it snaggy, you've got to really pump the fish up the wall. And as I say, but these cars, not that the cars are a pain, they're in car parking spaces, they deserve to be there probably more than me. But you've normally got all this, so you can have your camera behind you, all your stuff here and whatever. But now, it's a bit tight. Luckily, I'm the only angler here, because it can get busy. If there'd have been a few more anglers here, you'd have had lines everywhere, people squeezing in between. So, I'd rather have the cars here than other anglers, put it that way. That's a bite. Mike might be coming over. He can't get out yet, he's got his little one. But he's trying to come and catch the last bit of the tide. And I've told him he can have one of these rods if he comes and has a couple hour, or he might bring his own stuff. I don't want to be out too late. I want to be, you know, I'm going to have an hour and a half, 2 hours. I've got to get back up to Anglesey at my caravan. Got a job to do in Church Bay, and I've got to leave at lunch and get somewhere else as well. So I've got a busy day tomorrow, so I don't want to be out all night. But I'll tell you one thing. I ain't going to be blanking tonight either, because if I ain't catching, I'm staying till 3 o'clock in the morning. So we blanked on the last video on the Mersey, and that was painful. But yeah, everything's set up for a good few bites, so yeah. I've not fished it, as I say, for a year, but it always throws something up. Normally always. I shouldn't say this, I don't think I have ever blanked on the wall. It's kind of impossible, really. Should I have said that? But yeah, I'm going to knock that camera off and I'll bring you back if we get a bit of action instead of just leaving it constantly on. Yeah, I hope Mike comes. I hope we can get some fish for you. We need some, don't we, after the blank on the Mersey? We definitely need some. Just can't believe how calm it is here. And the coast over there and on all around the other coast are just... Everything's being took down, bins are flying through the air, fences are down. And I've found this absolute little gem of a spot. I was looking on the windy app earlier and I was like, that lump's there, the hill's there, the wind's blowing, there's going to be literally no wind. And it is just perfect. It's probably the most comfortable spot in Wales this today. But a lot of people haven't even dared to go out, but he who dares, eh? He who dares. The rods have been in probably about 20 minutes now and nothing, which is... not unheard of for here. Normally at least get the peckers. Well, that's a good thing we're not snagged. I'm just going to check these worms. I did have a little ping on the bigger bait, which you do get a lot of crabs here as well, to be honest. Can be absolutely infested with crabs at times. Let's see what's going on with them worms. Bottom worm's gone. The top worm's been smashed. Right, I'm going to have a little change around on this. I've just made, I'll show you. Don't want to blind you though with this torch, you better look that way. I've just made these two little baits. I'm only looking like that because I don't want to blind you with the torch. For that 2-hook flapper little baits. I suppose you could call them mini cod baits. It's like what I've got on the big rod, but they're about a quarter of the size. And I do want to start scaling my baits down a bit. I do think I fish baits too big sometimes. I'm literally going to put these little balls of goodness on like that, and just waz them on a little bit and get it back out. But as I say, them little balls of goodness, they're just like mini cod baits, just on each one. To be fair, that's probably the size most people use. I'm going to give this one a bit of a whoopsie-doofer as well. Get it right out there. Just being careful by these people's cars as well. Always being careful. I'm going to launch this one a bit further, because I ain't really had much action, which I was expecting. Swing it out into the road, and... that's better. Bosh. Now that could literally pick anything up, from a bass, a cod, a pecker, a doggy. I don't know of a fish that wouldn't eat that if it come across it. Do you? If you want to tell me, if you know. It's perfect for everything, isn't it? It's got the mussel in and the squid in. It's leaking goodness. It's oozing out across the seabed. So that swell's getting really big. I'll show you down there in a sec. Now it's coming to high tide. It's smashing up the rocks and you are getting a bit of spray here and there, but I am totally safe here. I'm on a wall. the water's far away. It's nice, easy fishing. Right, let's have a look at this big ball of goodness. I do know crabs can be an absolute pain in the ass here. Right, no snags, that's good. That's a good start. 2 for 2 we got back. I'm expecting this to have been crabbed. It is absolutely full of them. It's a good place to get peelers as well, this, in the summer. A real good place. Yeah, I've been stripped to... Well, I nearly smacked myself in the eye. Yeah, it's been stripped, to be fair. All the muscle's gone anyway. The squid carcass is there. So, yeah, that needs redoing. Is that Mike, that's a bite? No, that's not Mike, that's a bite. I've just blinded somebody with my head torch. I'll check my phone in a minute, see if Mike has decided to come or not. I know he's been... Well, he wants to come. The fact is, can he get out? Because he's got a few commitments there. But I hope he comes. It's nice to catch up with Mike for a bit. Especially on our old spot where we used to do all that fishing, eh, Mike? That big bullus that you caught, the congers we've had, the bass, the cod, the shenanigans, the ups, the downs, the snap rods, the tangles, the falling over, them freezing nights for the cod when we've been out all night till morning light. There's a lot of stuff gone down on this mark. Be good to catch up with my old pal. I hope he can get here. And if not, there's always another time at that. So I'm just using up these mussels. Found with mussels, once you've took a mussel out of the freezer, you really can't you really can't freeze them back up. So they just go to like water and mush next time. So yeah, either use your mussels up or throw up. That is like the bottom line of the mussel talk. Oh, it's a stinky way of fishing, this is. These big cocktail baits. But as fishermen, it's what we love, innit? Oh, I'd hate not to get a bite here tonight. That would be pretty painful, to be honest. It'd be very painful. And then Mike comes, catches a cod on my rod. Can you imagine it? The question is, if Mike did come and catch a cod on my rod, with my rig, my bait, my rod, but he reeled it in, whose fish would it be? Serious question that, whose would it be? Because I couldn't claim it, because he's reeled it in. But I'm sure Mike wouldn't want to claim it either, because he'd be like, I haven't caught it. It'll kind of be no man's fish, wouldn't it? Nobody wants one of them. You know, worst thing to do would be to catch a cod and not be able to claim it. Can't believe there's not even any peckers out there. Not saying I want a pecker, but Jesus, you normally get a few of them. It's absolutely stinking. Like, stink. Stinking worse than a stinky thing. Got to cast this over that line, but not onto the pier. That's another big ball of goodness. Look at that. Look at that for a bait. Stinking the place out. Look at that with a big hook point. What? I'm going to aim that towards the blue hut, which is that way. Nice. I'm getting more depth in here now, and I'm sending them a bit further. Come on. Come on. Oh, was that a bite on the left one, or is it the swell? I think it's the swell because they're both doing it at the same time. That's normally a telltale sign. You know, if one stays still and the other bounces, then it's a fish, but they're both doing the... Yeah, they're both doing it. Better check my phone and I see if Mr. That's a Bite's coming or not. Now what's going to happen? As soon as I turn that camera off, wallop with a rod. Well, no reply from Mike yet, so I don't know what's happening. I've just had a time check. 45 minutes from the top of the tide. Now, from fishing this mark in the past, you normally get bites all the time here. As long as there's water, you'll get bites. Well, I'll say that I'm not today. But it has been known to kick off on the ebb as well. Some of the best sessions here have been on the ebb, but I've not fished it for that long. I really, you know, you can lose track of the mark, can't you? You know, marks change. This time, a year or two ago, it'd have been bite after bite. And that's just fishing. Shooting star then. Don't, it's up that way above the rod. Shooting star. Right, now that's what I need to do. I need to wish for a fish now. I've seen the shooting star above the left rod. This one, the red coloured one. Now we just see it's going to wallop. Yeah, that swell is really picking up. You wouldn't want to be anywhere near that water's edge now, down on them rocks or anything. It's nice to have your feet on solid ground when it's like that. I can't believe there's not been a bite here. Cannot believe it. Oh, I've just had to switch mics. I don't know what you've heard in the last clips or the clips before. I've just had to get a new mic out. That one died. It's done about 4 or 5 sessions, that mic as well. But I think you've missed everything I've been talking about. Well, I went to the car just to change a different light because that died on me as well. I've had a massive whack on the right rod and it's gone right the way down and right the way up and then nothing. And I was just talking to Mike on the phone. He said there's some big congers down there, which there is because we've had them from here. There's some right big lumps around here. And then when I went to get it in, it was snagged. Like the rod was actually snagged. So something's had it and took it in the snag. Telltale sign of a conger. So yeah, I'm going to tie a new hook on here now because it was all snagged up in the snag. And get back in, but I think I've lost half my video. Talking and blabbing on about stuff. Nothing's been filming because the mic hasn't been on, but the mic is on now. So I don't know what you've seen or what you've missed, but to cut it short, there's no fish as of yet, but there's been one massive bite. Just see how we go and carry on. There is other anglers here now to my left, just behind you. So I'm going to quieten the tone down a little bit, and I'll let you know if they have anything, to be honest. I've just put a new hook on there after the shenanigans of the snag, but like nothing, one big bite all night, that's it. It's not ideal, is it? Would have been alright if we'd have caught that big bite. But we didn't catch that big bite, did we? That big bite took me into a snag, laughed at me, and gave me nothing. Oh, so tangled me off a rod now. Oh, that wind's pulled that right round. Come on, something has to go soon. Something just has to go. It's getting a lot colder and a lot windier than earlier now. Oh, that phone's going to go over in a minute. The wind has completely changed. It was blowing from that way behind, now it's coming straight at me. The wind has changed, the fishing's changed, there's other people right behind me now. I've still got no fish. The swell's getting worse. Everything's changing for the worst. And then, people, to top it off, it's just started hailing. There's a hailstorm coming in by the look of it. I'm not giving up. I want my fish from here, but I don't think there's any fish out there. I'm starting to think now if that big bite I had was even a fish. Or was it just like something playing? Was it Mike on the pier casting off, pulling it or something? No, it was definitely was a big bite. It was a good bite too. But yeah, the swell's changed, the wind's changed, everything's changed. I don't want to show you another blank video. Don't mind. I do show you everything, so you're going to see it because that's how I am. That's how I roll. There's no shame in how a session goes, and I promise you that from the beginning. It's the description on my channel. You see every session. I never film a session where I don't show you because I think it's only fair to show exactly how it is, and that's what I like to say. It's the realest channel on YouTube, but that camera's going to go over in a minute if I don't grab it. So I'm getting closer and closer, thinking, is it going to go, or is the tripod going to go? But as you can see, I'm sure you can appreciate that this ain't going to plan here, and it might have to be aborted very soon. Well, that's just the way it is. As Tupac said, that's just the way it is. It'd be nice to get something though, wouldn't it? Everything's getting soaked. Everything's getting wet. It's hammering down. I ain't caught a fish yet. You know what, people? You know, you see every session as it is. Everything is getting soaked here. I'm going to cut the camera off. I'm going to fish on because I want to catch a fish. But with this rain coming down like this now, I'm going to cut that off, put all the electrics in that box dry, and I'll just bring you back if I catch anything. I can't have all the stuff out in this. I hope you appreciate it. It's getting worse. Right, let's get the stuff away. Well guys, things have really took a turn for the worst here. The storm is coming in. We're supposed to be at the end of it now. I'm going to be wrapping this video up. I'm sorry nothing happened, but my promise to you all is I'll show you exactly how it happens. So I've got to get out of here now because everything is absolutely soaked. I'll see you all in the next video.